This time of year in the South, perfect. Fall football weather, and we've got the roof wide open here at Mercedes-Benz Stadium in the heart of Georgia. A moment ago, here was the scene. The Falcons coming out from their tunnel to the roar of all the folks here in Atlanta. We're ready for football as these Falcons get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Set to go, Younghoe Koo ready to do the honors. And we are underway here on EA Sports. And he returns this to the 22.
Let's go, boys.
Lance now on first down. He'll dump this one off to Hubbard. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
I like it. I like it. I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game. And you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. And gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
First carry now for Trey Sermon. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they played really well in that win last week against Miami.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Lance to throw on 3rd and 1. And looking for Kittle, but it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And he takes this one back into the end zone. Falcon defense has a touchdown. It was 3rd down defensively. They were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. And he'll decide to not bring this one out as their drive will begin at the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. 1-7 their record here at the midway point of the season. And right now this organization, more than likely if you look at it, CD, probably in for a rough second half of the season.
Well, we've seen teams turn things around in other places. I mean, we've seen 1-7 first halves turn into 5-3 second halves. But with this squad, I think these guys aren't playing to get into the playoffs. They're playing for their jobs. So's the coaching staff. They're coaching for theirs. Front office trying to keep theirs. The heat is on from all directions. And what's interesting is a lot of these guys are playing for jobs and trying to keep their positions. It might be just in the league in some other spot.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Lance. And this is intercepted. He was trying to get it to Davis. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. they go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Javon Kinlaw just creating a disaster there for the offense as that one goes 16 yards in the wrong direction. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Operating from the gun. Bolden looking there for Pitts, but intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Bear in mind they had 2 interceptions last week, but that was in 4 quarters. They've got 2 here in the first quarter alone.
And the unsung people in this streak, the pass rushers, because most of the time, they're the ones that affect things in the pocket for a quarterback trying to throw the football, rushing them, getting them off their spot, harassing them, and that allows the defensive backs, the linebackers to swoop in and make the picks downfield.
And they're swooping. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Derek Brown able to get him for a loss of about 3. Behind the chain, 2nd and 13. Another try after the first down sack. Lance. Man open, that's Deebo Samuel. Pushes him over. He's like a freight train. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Lance. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. A second time. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Sermon now on 1st and 10. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. Lance going to throw. And his pass incomplete.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Lance to throw it. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
They're throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. He's at the 40, past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Like so many wide receivers, he is a threat with the ball in his hands, and he's able to do his damage here after the catch.
And that should serve as a big warning to this defense. They know now that they have to stick close to these receivers because they have the ability to break games wide open after the catch, and that one wound up in the end zone.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make the score 14-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Here's 2nd and 10. And they'll run the toss here with Sermon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The defense has spread the field, a dime package here on 3rd and 12. Shotgun now for Lance. That's complete. It's Brandon Ayuk. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
On first down, Lance. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Second and 10. Throwing now is Lance. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
They're bringing a lot of pressure here already in the first quarter. Already sacked him once. Now they get in there and knock another one away. You think maybe that Tucker rule being gone makes defenses a lot bolder?
Yes, indeed. That time, lucky that the arm was going forward, incomplete pass. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. To throw, it's Lance. And that is incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following that long touchdown pass, a one-play drive last time, see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the call.
He's got a man complete. And they do finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 41. A big connection on that one. 49 yards. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Bolden. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
On 1st and 10, Bolden. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Nick Bosa in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. 2nd and 14. Back to throw. Bolden. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you're unbeaten, you got to be careful. You can't take this one too lightly.
You're exactly right about that. And by rights, this should be a cakewalk. Almost a week off. Let the starters run up the score in the first half. Backups get to play in the second. But you and I both know that funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Finding room to the 20. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. A big play that time through the air. 31 yards.
Oftentimes now offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
Looking to throw. Bolden. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And some dangerous territory. Already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
They've got his man complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big connection on that one. 32 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Lance looking to throw it. He'll find Sermon out of the backfield. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Lance. And this one is incomplete.
He certainly had a good game throwing the ball so far, but I think he was trying to take that from good to great with that throw, trying to get one downfield.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Lance looks to throw again. His throw caught at about the 5. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They've got 3 tight ends here on 1st and goal to add some extra mass. Sermon. And across the chalk into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Trey Sermon with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They're at the halfway point of the season, Charles, 8-0. What a great start. Clearly a Super Bowl contender, if not the outright favorite, through 2 months to win the whole thing.
Well, there aren't too many bad things you can say right now because this team is playing pretty well. They've had a couple of injuries. That could plague them down the stretch. But their intensity doesn't waver. I think the road to the Super Bowl is going to go through them in the playoffs. And if you're on their road, things could be bumpy for you.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Back to throw. Bolden. He's going to drop this one down for Chubb. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Bolden. He's going to float this one deep right side. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown, Falcons. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. No run back here, down to a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. 49er offense set to get this drive underway. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Well, here's a good way to kick off a drive, complete over the middle. And all the way down to the 29. A big play there for the Niners.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. Looking left sideline, incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Lance now to throw. Rolling to his right. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 23. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Well, we heard all week that they were going to put the football in the air a lot. The problem is that is now 4 interceptions, Charles, that he has thrown in this first half. How do you treat a situation? What do you say to your quarterback right now?
Boy, that's an interesting question because a lot of it depends on...
And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Falcons. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out, and it'll come out to the 25. As he will not attempt to return. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The incomplete pass. Here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Lance. This one caught by Kittle. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A big play that time through the air. 30 yards.
And this offense needed something to try and seize the momentum a little bit. And that might have been exactly what they needed. Now they have a chance to go downfield and score and cut into the lead.
Lance, a give now to Sermon. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Lance. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks like the people just leave the candy out at Halloween and you take what you want. They're having a blast out there playing against him today.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance taking a shot for Samuel. And this will be incomplete. Well, can you believe this? That one probably should have been picked too. Instead, it's 4th down.
Thus far, they have been able to move the line of scrimmage very well in the running game. Almost felt like they said in the huddle, can you guys pass protect? Let's take a big shot downfield. Didn't get it on that one, but they may come back to it again.
And a nice special teams job here. This is going to be down inside the 10 at the 7-yard line.
Absolutely love the flexibility of these punters. Their leg drive, able to get it way up in the air, and that allows their punt team to get down there and down it inside the 10 because they've had some time.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And with a huge lead already, they may be thinking, hey, our job's complete for these first 2 quarters. Let's get this to the locker room. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
So, Charles, you talk about this head coach and his future with this franchise. Look, it's been a frustrating year, and I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier in the week.
Yeah, he's trying to say all the right things, isn't he? But he's heard the rumors. He knows what's going on out there. And right now, he is tired of having to answer the question, are you on the hot seat in every meeting with reporters? This week, he kind of said, I've had enough, and I don't blame.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
The Lance is throw complete here to Ayuk. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Lance now on 1st down. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
He did a fine job there of not hitting it before the ball arrived. And I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Lance. And now here is another interception. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. They are in an interception mood on defense. Had 2 nice interceptions a week ago. Now 2 here in the first half.
Yeah, we call it ball hawking. And the only way to truly be good ball hawks is not guessing. It's not just simply anticipation. It's study and understanding what they like to do and beating them to the spot and creating big plays.
They're watching the film, and it's working. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football. Because
there he goes, left side. 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Falcons. Well, CD, I mean, there are touchdown runs, and then there are touchdown runs, and that one certainly fell into the latter category. Now, that deserves a couple exclamation points.
And this is a play defensively where you're just looking around and saying, what was that? What just happened? You're looking at your teammates, they're looking at you. And let's face it, your defensive coordinator, he's not going to tip his cap to him. That's not how football works, but he probably should have after that run. That was absolutely sensational.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Looking to throw. Lance. That's complete. It's Collins.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw there.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. From the gun, Lance. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. Adding 2nd down. But we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
To throw again on 2nd down. Lance eluding the pressure right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. Now that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
Maybe worse than the loss of yardage, they also lose the down. So now it's 3rd and long. Again, he'll drop to throw.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle.
Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion? Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
He's got a 1st down past the 30 and all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They hand this off to Harris, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead to more issues.
2 1st downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
On the give, this is Harris. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7.
Now a give, running left is Harris. And he's not even able to get back to the line of scrimmage. Now there's also a flag down, and it's in the area of holding. So on the big tight end, holding.
Each and every year, we talk about very few tight ends coming into the league that are polished blockers or asked to do it a lot in college. So it's a constant struggle and a constant fight to learn how to do it without holding.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. A run with Harris out of the shotgun.
126 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
On third down, here's Harris. And to the 49-yard line, but no further. And obviously, he is well short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, go into pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big connection on that one. 31 yards. The big play has them all the way out near midfield for a 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Sermon. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll come up now on 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Lance. They set up the screen for Sermon. Dancing away at the 35. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Collins. Touchdown! A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit. Extra point splits the uprights, and that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they just continue to roll right along, really. This has the looks of yet another victory as they hope to polish it off here in quarter number 4. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return. And the Niners will go on offense First and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise.
And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Richie Grant.
And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10. They run with Harris. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On second down now, it's Harris. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On third down, Harris.
Oh, he gets loose right side.
And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds.
178 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Harris. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
They'll try to run with Harris. Able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on third, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that second down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got it third and goal here as they try to finish off. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Koo for the extra point.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead.
Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this fourth quarter.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. Looking to throw. Lance.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. Okay, take us to school here, Charles. On a play like that, pretty successful RPO. What's the quarterback looking at?
Basics. He's looking at the defensive end or the outside linebacker. If that player crashes down to take the running back, quarterback pulls it, runs to the outside end. Some teams, though, will read different players depending on defenses, but basically it's that outside play.
Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Atlanta, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll have another home date next week as the Carolina Panthers come to town. Meanwhile, for San Francisco, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.